we call him No Big Deal Honnold because nothing is a big deal to him. And sometimes, that works both for what he's done, but sometimes, like, if you've done something that you feel like is really awesome or that you're really happy about, he can also be like, that's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
So and we love him for it because he is who he is, but we give him a hard time about it. We'll be like, that was really hard for me. It might not have been hard for you, but like, that's a big deal for me. And he'll be like, that's not a big deal. But then, we also call him Spock, highly calculated, very objective, non-emotional, lives in like, if there's an emotional scale of 1 to 10, he lives between like 4.9 and 5.1. And 5.2 in a scale of 1 to 10 would be like very excited for Alex,
Right.
So he's like straight down the middle.
And when he finishes El Capitan at the end and he says, "I'm delighted," what's that for Alex? Is that like a 6?
That was like a 5.8,
Okay.
He says, "I'm so delighted." And people always laugh because they're like, you'd imagine if you pull it off, you'd be like jumping up and down, be like, "I can't believe I did it." But, or crying or bursting into tears, and he says that. He's like, I think the movie would be better if I burst into tears, but I don't really feel like it.
Yeah. Is that the only way someone can perform this feat of climbing up a 3,000-foot vertical granite wall with no ropes? Do you think it takes a Spock-like or monk-like?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you were to kind of try to pinpoint his superpower, it would be the fact that he is able to control his mind absolutely in this non-emotive way, to be able to take one of the most basic instincts of fear and fear of falling and being in that position and being able to intellectualize it and say, well, fear right now is not going to serve me, so I'm going to take that and put it over here.
Right.
And then now I'm going to have to, and it's not going to serve me executing perfectly, and I'm going to execute perfectly right now.
Right. Right. Which is what all of you climbers do. He's just doing it in a highly, highly intense situation.
Yeah, where the stakes do not get any higher, right? And I think it's incredible because I think it's like what every athlete or you could be a lawyer or a doctor, or anybody who has to perform under high pressure situations. That's kind of like the dream scenario where you're in a situation and the stakes are as high as they get and you know that you're going to execute perfectly. How great would that be? To know, I think that has a lot of appeal, especially for athletes, if you're a basketball player or football player and it's the Super Bowl or the NBA championships, and to go in there and being like, I'm going to play the perfect game.